Well, we've all made it to Championship Sunday. Well, technically only 4 teams made it to Championship Sunday. I mean, I guess the majority of us are losers, so I guess technically... Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, a podcast where you don't do Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Who the hell am I going to root for in the NFC Championship game? Grossi. And today we are going to be breaking down and predicting the final 2 games before the Super Bowl. That's right, Championship Sunday this upcoming week, and oh boy, it's going to be a good one. Before we get to that, we got to go to the record. Last week, I went 2-2. I was so close to going 3-1. So that brings my current tally on the season to 182 and 101 on the year. I was really hoping to get under 100 this year, but I failed. I failed you.
You trusted me. And I failed you.
But we're going to talk about these games anyway. Starting off with the AFC Championship game, and a game that I think is going to be the game of the weekend. You got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And the scriptwriters be like, could you imagine a world without the Chiefs in the AFC Championship?
Oh.
Apparently not. The Chiefs punching their ticket, heading to Baltimore after defeating the Buffalo Bills in absolute heartbreaking fashion, if you're a Bills fan. And the Chiefs, how did they do it? Travis Kelce looking great, having that connection with Patrick Mahomes. Isaiah Pacheco played well. The defense, which has been the highlight of the entire season, played well. And of course, Stephon Diggs dropping that ball did not help. But the Chiefs, they just looked efficient. A great game plan by Andy Reid, and they just looked like an experienced team on the road. Patrick Mahomes' first away game in the playoffs, which is an insane stat, and they were able to knock off the Bills. They're going to be taking on their toughest challenge yet in the Baltimore Ravens, who had a game against the Texans, and it was kept close for the first half, and then the Ravens started running away with it. The defense getting after C.J. Stroud, Lamar Jackson having a great game, especially on the ground, and I just think it's the dumbest narrative ever of just like, oh, not a great passer. Bro, first of all, he is a good passer. Second of all, who cares? Who cares how you win you the game? And Lamar Jackson, he certainly doesn't. He's going to be one of the front runners for MVP. And last week looks like it's just the first step in trying to shake off that playoff Lamar moniker that he's had the past few years. And now they are in the AFC Championship game at home, and they are going to be favored because, as I've been saying now for weeks, they look like the best team in football. And this game, oh man, I am going back and forth on it because the Ravens, they seem like the logical pick. They're at home. They're playing great football. They had the most lopsided game of the weekend because they really didn't struggle too much against the Texans in the second half. I mean, hell, the only touchdown that the Texans scored was through their special teams. That's pretty damn good. So again, they're the logical choice. But then there's the frackin' Chiefs. They have momentum right now. They've been playing well. Of course, not the greatest game against the Dolphins, but they got it done. And then, like I said, they executed a great game plan from Andy Reid, and they looked pretty darn good against the Bills. So this is going to be a challenge. I believe in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, especially if Travis Kelce plays well, if they're able to run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco. But this Ravens defense is going to be the toughest defense they have played so far. And now it just really comes down to a coin toss. Sorry, Buffalo. However, even though my gut last week said go with the Chiefs and I went with the Bills, I'm going against my gut again because somehow, some way, I see the Chiefs pulling off this game, and I know I should pick the Chiefs, and maybe I should just listen to my gut. But no, I'm going with the power of Old Bay. I am going with the Baltimore Ravens to get this game done. Punch their ticket into the Super Bowl. Baltimore is going to be crazy loud, an insane environment, and I think that defense is going to give Patrick Mahomes some issues, and guys like Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce, I think they'll be able to get covered, and I don't know if Isaiah Pacheco is going to be able to gain a ton of yards with that really good Ravens defense. So because of that, I'm going with the Ravens to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl, beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and if not, well, yeah, then I'm just wrong again. And then finally, On Sunday night, you got the NFC Championship game. You got the Detroit Lions taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And we could have had a Packers-Lions NFC Championship game.
A great opportunity squandered? Absolutely. A crushing blow? Yes. Will I get over it? No. But life goes on. Not for me.
Yeah, seriously, I'm going to need the offseason because I am not processing this well. The Lions punching their ticket to the championship game, defeating Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A close game in the first half. The Lions began to pull away, though. Their defense played pretty darn well. Of course, the Buccaneers were able to come back a little bit at the end, but a game-sealing interception put all those fears to rest. And unfortunately for the Lions, they are now going to have to travel on the road to Santa Clara, and it's going to be much nicer weather than what it was for the Packers-49ers game. Because the 49ers, of course, defeating the Packers, not playing their best football. George Kittle having a nice night. Juwan Jennings looking good. Of course, Deebo Samuel getting injured in that game. And while Christian McCaffrey did have 2 touchdowns, the 49ers game plan really didn't seem to revolve around Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy did not have his best game. A couple of balls should have been intercepted. However, Brock Purdy came up clutch when they needed it most, and the Packers defense, it fell apart. And of course, you had the game-sealing interception. And so the 49ers right now, they have it all in front of them. Of course, as the 1 seed, this is a big home field advantage for them. And I know they're already selling out Ford Field for Lions fans just to watch the game there. But here, I really think that the 49ers are going to be in their element. Like I said, the weather's going to be good. And I just think, especially if Deebo Samuel does wind up playing, it's going to be a little bit too much for the Lions to overcome. As I said in power rankings, I do think the Lions are going to need to establish the ground game like the Packers did, utilizing Aaron Jones. Here you have Gibbs and Monty that can hopefully get the job done, and hopefully they can take advantage of that 49ers secondary, because I think that's the only real shot they're going to have at beating them. Of course, you have the pass rush of the Lions, which can be lethal. We saw that against the Buccaneers, and if they're able to put pressure on Brock Purdy, he will make some mistakes. But the Lions are going to have to play a near perfect game to do so, and I think the 49ers, just in their element, at home with good weather, I think it's going to be just a little bit too much. And so because of that, I am going to go with the San Francisco 49ers to get the win, and yeah, then I'm just going to be rooting for the Ravens or the AFC the entire time, because yes, I am that bitter. So that would set us up for a 49ers-Ravens Super Bowl, just like the logo predicted. It's all a conspiracy! Unless the Packers win, then it's not a conspiracy anymore, because that's how the NFL works. But of course, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you got winning this weekend? Let me know. You know, I send me at Tom Grossi Comedy, all social media, see down below. A big shout out and thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members for supporting this channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.